What is happening, Chicago White Sox fans? I do a question I want to ask you all, but before I even get to that question, I've got another question, which is, who is this team? What is the identity of this team, other than keeping us underperforming and frustrating the hell out of the White Sox fans for so long, and then getting so close to taking the division, and then going on a miserable losing streak against bad teams, to the point that, okay, I've given up hope. I'm planning for next year. I'm starting to look at the reverse standings to see, how far can we sink to get better, a draft pick next year. And then suddenly, amazing baseball. And suddenly another win streak happens and the White Sox are back in the mix doing some extraordinary things. Walk-offs, benches clear, near no-hitters, dominating against the Twins. And the Twins always have the White Sox number, especially late in the season. I grew up with the Twins just destroying the White Sox in September and eliminating all chance of happiness. But somehow the White Sox just took 2 out of 3 from the Twins right after I wrote them off. So I don't know who this team is. As I've always said, they've got the talent, but we haven't seen the dedication. And oh, by the way, they went on this win streak without Luis, without Tim Anderson, without Yoan Moncada, without Michael Kopech. So I just don't even know anymore. Hopeful, always hopeful, because it's possible. This team has the talent, but do they have the drive? Sloppy mistakes still. The defense has been rough. But so we will be doing our call for your picks to click from now till the end of the year. And yes, I'm coming to you during Labor Day weekend. Happy Labor Day, everybody. I hope you guys do get the weekend off, get to have Monday off and relax a little bit, take in some bonus baseball if possible. But the question I want to ask, what would you want as a fan? Now, obviously, the best scenario is the White Sox get the momentum, they get guys healthy, they finally have all of this momentum, they take the division, they go into the playoffs, and they have a nice deep playoff run. That's what we all want. That's the obvious no-brainer. But short of that happening, would you rather have the White Sox just barely make it in? They limp in, they sneak in, they make the playoffs, but then once again, they are eliminated in the first round because they're not built to go deep, and that's that. Or would you rather them just miss the playoffs altogether? Which I know that sounds, you'll never root against the White Sox. I will never root against the White Sox. But, maybe if they miss the playoffs, then it'll make the front office be more aggressive in this offseason, do something bigger to try to get back to the playoffs the year after that. Not to mention, as I had said, better draft pick choices. So we'll see. What would you prefer out of those two? And it's hard to answer it right now. When they were losing, it was an easy decision that, just miss the playoffs. Let's start thinking ahead to the future. Now that they're actually playing well again, it's always fun to watch the White Sox play in October, even if they only get a one round and out series. So I don't know. I don't know where I land on that anymore, but I'd like to know where you guys would like the Sox to go, other than obviously the World Series or bust. So last month, my picks, I picked Jose for Offensive Player of the Month for the month of August, which I'm extending that up until now, so September 4th. So all of your picks, they get some bonus games involved as well, especially since there's a big one recently. So we get to pad some of our stats there. And again, this will be the deadline for this one. Please make your picks by Tuesday, by the first pitch Tuesday, which the White Sox will be in Seattle, so it's even going to be a little bit later. You get a couple bonus hours, and that will, again, go from Tuesday through the end of the season, which is, I think, October 5th or 6th. The season, the regular season goes a little bit deeper this year, with the White Sox, of course, ending the season against San Diego, which will be a very interesting one. Actually, they ended off at home against the Twins, but before then they are in San Diego. So that would be a wild one to see. And we won't have to worry about Fernando Tatis, I don't think, for a while. So let's, I was going to make my picks. I'm a little disjointed. I'm just trying to roll with this one. So last month I picked Jose as my offensive player of the month. I picked Dylan Cease as my pitcher of the month, which that worked out pretty well. And I picked Eloy Jimenez to be the guy that hit the first home run. This month I want to go from now till the end of the year. I think I want to go with Eloy as my offensive player to lead the team. I was tempted to go with Tim Anderson. Now, Tim Anderson is still on the injured list. He is expected back in hopefully about a week, maybe a little bit less if we're lucky. Hopefully not more than a week, but around a week. And Tim Anderson is that guy that can be that spark plug that can really pick up the team and carry us. But the White Sox are doing it without him right now. Of course, we want him to come back, and we're excited to get him back eventually. But I think Eloy has been very impressive to me, a better overall hitter. He lately had not been hitting a ton of home runs, getting those extra base hits, but just his batting average has really climbed. He seems to be hitting the ball. He's aggressive as always. Unfortunately, there's always the issues with strikeouts with him. But I'm still going to go Eloy for my offensive pick to click from now till the end of the year. I'm going to go AJ Pollock to hit the next home run. He has been another guy that's been carrying this team a lot and picking up some nice extra base hits, hitting with power to the gaps. A lot of fun to see. And for the final pick for best pitcher, I'm going Johnny Cueto. My first pick going with Johnny Cueto. I was tempted to go with Lucas because, boy, oh boy, he's had a rough year, but I think he'll finish strong. I really do. It's hopeful. I've got nothing to base that on other than I just need him to finish strong. The White Sox need him to be the ace that we expect from him. But in the meantime, I'm going to go Johnny Cueto. I haven't picked him all year, and he's been so impressive and such a positive force on the White Sox team. So that was looking ahead. Now let's take a look back. And again, this is from August 1st to September 3rd. That's what these stats cover. And in the last 32 games, Jose Abreu has 42 hits. That is outstanding. Eloy Jimenez, 31 games, 37 hits. I love seeing more hits than games played. Andrew Vaughn is the same. 34 hits in 30 games. Josh Harrison, he's been so understated, underappreciated, kind of flying under the radar, being this electric, fun player to watch. 28 hits in 28 games. AJ Pollock has 27 hits. Gavin Sheets, 24 in 26 games. Elvis Andrus, he's been a lot of fun to watch since he's come over to the team. Definitely doing better than he was doing in Oakland. He's batting over the last, again, month plus 276 batting average. He has 16 hits in 14 games. Yoan, currently out. I would probably not pick him. I think he's due back pretty soon. So I take that back about not picking him. I think he is an eligible guy worth looking at. He's had some ups and downs lately, of course, but even with missing some time, he's 8th place for tied with Elvis Andrus with hits over the last month and a little bit. 16 hits. Luis, he is back from paternity leave. Also, he's of course dealing with some wrist injuries, but he was another guy that I almost picked. He has 15 hits in the last 16 games. Yasmani is back and healthy finally, and he's Mr. Clutch. He's not a great overall batting average guy, but he gets some huge hits. And of course, we saw that game-tying home run a couple days ago, 14 hits. Then Romy Gonzalez, 13 hits in 11 games. Sebi matches him with 13 hits, but in 19 games. Leury, 11 hits in 14. And then we get down to Tim Anderson, just 5 hits in 6 games, because he's been missing all that time injury-wise. Let's take a look at some extra base hits, though. Our leader when it comes to doubles, it's actually a 3-way tie. AJ Pollock, Andrew Vaughn, and Gavin Sheets, all with 6 doubles. Luis has 5, and then Jose and Eloy each with 4. I'm not going to go through all of the numbers here, but triples, 1 apiece for Yoan Moncada and Andrew Vaughn. That was a fun one to see Andrew Vaughn get his first career triple. Home runs, a tie at the top, Andrew Vaughn and AJ Pollock. I guess that wasn't a very savvy pick. It was a very obvious pick for me to pick next home run, AJ Pollock. And again, that next home run, that counts starting Tuesday night. So if he hits one on Monday, it doesn't count for me. So whoever hits the first home run for the White Sox, Tuesday or later. But again, Vaughn and Pollock each with 5 home runs. Next is Eloy and Gavin Sheets with 4. And then Jose, Yaz, Elvis Andrus, and Yoan Moncada with 2. It's always great to see who's driving in the runs, and some of the biggest ones have been from Jose Abreu lately, but he did not lead the team in the last month plus. That was Gavin Sheets with 18 RBI in 26 games. Eloy is next with 17 in 31 games. Then Vaughn and Abreu tied with 14. Moncada, 13. See, when he gets his hits, they count. Pollock and Andrews next with 11. Steals, the White Sox haven't been that aggressive on the base paths. Just Elvis Andrews and Adam Engel with going 1 for 1 in stolen bases. However, unfortunately, while the White Sox were unstoppable for a stretch there in the summer, we have a lot of misses here. Romy Gonzalez, A.J. Pollock, Luis Robert, Josh Harrison, all 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts. And now let's see overall total WAR. Leading the way is Eloy with a 1.2. Now this is factoring in defense, which is kind of impressive because Eloy, as we know, is not a great defender. Jose Abreu, 0.7. This is all according to Fangraphs WAR. Andrews, Sheets, each with 0.6, and then Sebi with 0.5. Now looking at just offensive WAR, and of course for our contest, this is what I'm looking at to decide to pick for me who is the best offensive player, and this does factor in base running as well. Leading the way over the last month plus was Eloy with an 11 offensive. Gavin Sheets was next with a 5.8. Jose Abreu, 4.7. Andrew Vaughn, 4.6. And then a drop-off. So again, Vaughn was 4.6. Next is Elvis Andrews, 1.2. Pollock, 1.1. Luis, 0.9. So yeah, I think that gives us a good feel for where the guys are offensively. I'm definitely happy with my pick. I didn't look at batting average. Or on base plus slugging. Maybe I'm rushing too fast. But Eloy led the way with a 3.59 batting average. Gavin Sheets, 330s. Jose Abreu, also 330s. Romy Gonzalez, who also hit his first career home run recently, batting 317. Really nice to see that many guys over 300. And Luis just a shade under at 294 with Josh Harrison, 292. Andrew Vaughn, 291. Awesome to see that many players. That's 7 guys batting over 290. Outstanding. And as I always love to take a look at on-base plus slugging. And again, in my opinion, if you have a guy batting over 800, you are happy. That is an all-star caliber player. And I'm going to kind of go the other way. Start at that number and go up. We have Jose Abreu in 5th place. Jose Abreu in 5th place with an 803 on-base plus slugging. Better than him, 4th place, Vaughn, 828. And then a jump to 3rd place, Eloy Jimenez. And actually, should caveat this, 1st place, we'll eliminate this one because it's Mark Payton, who only had 1 plate appearance. So 2nd place, Eloy Jimenez with a 965 on base plus slugging. And then Gavin Sheets led the way with a 971. Again, in 26 games covering 79 plate appearances, a 971 on base plus slugging. That's pretty impressive. What else is impressive, Eloy Jimenez had a 13.9 walk rate, which is, for him, very, very good, and actually one of the better on the team. That's actually better than Yasmani Grandal, who is known for having a great eye. He's 13.7. And by the way, a quick look at pitchers for the last month plus. Leading in WAR was Johnny Cueto at a 1.0 WAR. Lance Lynn, 0.7. Cease, 0.6. Kind of surprising. Cease was only a 0.6. Yeah, so much so that I had to double check and make sure I was looking at the right information here. But then Giolito is a 0.5. At least they're positives. Lopez, Lambert, Liam follow in that order. ERA leaders for the month, we had Lance Lynn leading all starters with a 2.45 ERA. Dylan Cease at 2.52, so very good. And boy, I hope Dylan Cease is able to win Cy Young. Justin Verlander is considered a favorite for good cause, but he's got some injury issues right now. I think it was a strained calf. We'll see how he comes back. It's going to be neck and neck between those two, both of them having exceptional years. Among starters, the next ERA leader is Johnny Cueto at a 3.07. And let's take a quick look down here. Lucas Giolito is at a 5.68, so not too great. It's always important to take a look at who is actually logging the innings. Johnny Cueto, of course, led the way with 41 innings pitched. Dylan Cease, 39. Lance Lynn, about 37. Giolito, 32. And then there's Kopech down there at 22 before, of course, he ended up on the injured list. So an interesting thing to note that even though Lucas Giolito posted just a, what did I say, like a 5.68 ERA, his FIP and xFIP, so basically ERA predictors, say that he was very unlucky. He should have had an ERA in the mid-threes, and it's somewhat reflected because he was the pitcher that logged the most wins. He won 4 games over the same stretch. He was somewhat unlucky with his end results, so he should have had a better ERA, but he still ended up with a pretty good record, leading the staff with wins. Lance Lynn with 3, Johnny Cueto with 3, and Dylan Cease with only 2 wins. ERA predictors for him, not as kind. So he had an ERA of 2.52, but predictors said that he should have been in the low 4s, so significantly higher. Obviously, I'm still rooting for Dylan Cease super hard to finish the season strong and then win the Cy Young. That would be amazing to see, no matter what happens with the team overall. So anyway, please do make your picks to click. Please have them in before first pitch on Tuesday, September 6th. I hope everybody's having a great end of the summer. Even though it means winter's coming, I love it when we get into fall time. The crisp air, it feels like this is when baseball matters most. Anyway, again, thank you all for watching, sticking with me, even though I haven't been able to make videos nearly as frequently as I made the previous season. Until I see you next, play ball and go Sox.